Meet a 22-year-old American named Ali Walsh. He is the grandson of the greatest boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali, and he instantly begins to defeat everyone. Many experts have proclaimed him the legitimate successor of the legendary grandfather, but is this really so? Why some experts see this guy as a future boxing star, while others are skeptical about his talent? In this issue, I will try to understand this issue in detail. You will learn the amazing story of the grandson of the legend, and I will also show you 5 fights in which Ali Walsh shocked the world. Let's go.
I don't want to prove anything to people who think that I'm just in boxing, you know, for name or fame or whatever.
For any boxer, repeating the success of legendary predecessors is not an easy task that not everyone can cope with. However, the task becomes more complicated at times when your ancestor is a man whom many call the greatest boxer of all time. Nico Ali Walsh is the grandson of a legendary fighter whose name has gone far beyond the sports, and it is none other than Muhammad Ali. Yes, there is no external similarity between the grandson and grandfather, but the descendant inherited from his maternal grandfather something other than appearance. Walsh, as well as his illustrious grandfather, received through the genotype a great love for boxing, which this young fighter has recently begun to show to the whole world. From early childhood, he was destined to become a fighter. Nico grew up at a time when his grandfather was on the verge of death, and at the age of 3 he tried on boxing gloves for the first time.
At this stage in my career, I don't really think I have a place to call anyone out. I mean, if you look at the people in my division, you got Janibek, you got Triple G. I'm not going to be calling out Janibek and Triple G anytime soon. So I'm happy to be where I'm at. Whoever Top Rank gives me to fight, I'll fight. That's just the fighter in me. I'll give whoever they believe I'm ready for.
This atmosphere gave the young man motivation to start practicing this sport, and in 2015 he held his first amateur match in the boxing arena. Walsh decides not to tell his grandfather about this decision, as he was afraid of embarrassing himself and not living up to his last name. Nevertheless, the boxer continued to perform and had about 30 fights, mostly winning. The firm decision to devote his life to this sport came after the death of his grandfather in 2016. The boxer realized that the legendary legacy should not just disappear, and he must continue to perform, despite the gigantic responsibility that passed to his grandson. After several amateur victories in 2021, he moved to professional sports and made a successful debut in August of the same year. The attitude towards him from the first moments of the appearance was special, and there is nothing to be surprised at. Leading promoters, TV channels immediately signed contracts with him, and Muhammad's grandson Ali wrote in large letters in the headlines. To date, the boxer has had 7 fights, of which 5 he completed ahead of schedule. And to see this guy in the ring and find out if he has at least something from his illustrious grandfather, let's take a look at 5 fights in which the grandson of the legend shocked the boxing world. Walsh had his first fight on August 14, 2021 against an American named Jordan Weeks. Lee's opponent was selected specifically for him so that he could successfully make his debut in the ring, which our hero successfully coped with by knocking out Weeks in the first round.
Nice boxing. Oh, right hand! Knockdown scored by Nico Ali Walsh here in round number 1. Said he wasn't going to emulate his grandfather. He goes to the ball. It's a big right hand that comes in from Nico. Jordan Weeks is hurt. Ali Walsh is slugging away upstairs. Big shot comes in again. Weeks is so defensively flawed. And this fight is over, a TKO victory for the grandson of the GOAT.
An interesting fact, the shorts that Walsh was wearing that evening belonged to his legendary grandfather. The grandson decided that this thing was not an exhibit and used clothes in business. The second fight of the grandson of the legend was against James Wesley on October 23rd. The first round was very competitive. Ali Jr.'s opponent showed decent resistance, and Walsh was shocked by this. However, at the end of the second round, our hero punches a hard blow from the right. Wesley falls to the canvas. Despite the fact that the opponent rose to his feet, it was clear from him that he could not fully recover. And at the beginning of the third round, our hero completes what he started, sending his opponent to another knockdown. The opponent's corner realized that nothing good awaits them and refuses to fight.
Que es el poder, la mano derecha fue lo que estuvo buscando. El primer round creo que fue un round muy parejo donde
In third place is the fight against Jeremiah Yager. In this battle, a mistake in the technique of Ali's grandson became noticeable to everyone. Walsh tried too hard to parade his grandfather, but this manner of fighting led him to a not entirely convincing victory. After that, he corrected all the mistakes and shocked many with his form. He showed all this in the fourth fight against Jeremiah Yager. Ali Jr., his opponent after the last fight, thought he would stop this fake boxer. But this is not the case. After the first hit from the grandson of the legend was enough for the fight to end in his favor.
Big left hand from Nico Walsh pours Yager. It's over. He's done. That was a strong left hook.
7, 8. Walk to here. No. Walk to here. Walk to me. Do you want to fight? Huh?
Oh, wow. He's saying that he would like to continue. Nico Walsh has him backed up against the rope, looking for another big shot. There it is, and the ref waves this one off. It is over. Quick Ali shuffle before that final 1, 2, 3. Right here, there we go.
The deepest sleep, that's how you can describe Walsh's fifth fight.